So first of all, TAKAUD, as the name says, TAKAUD is thought and built for one goal, that we have, all of us, whatever the age, whatever the nationality, whatever the background, whatever the occupation, one day, I have a scoop for you, one day you will retire. So one day, you will need TAKAUD. One day you will need us. There are two ways you can need us. When it's too late, too bad. Or when you can really do things properly for your kids, for your retirement, for your family, for life after retirement. Because you see, when people go to retirement, and we know that all the countries in the world, and now Bahrain is also entering the club of the countries in the world that cannot pay state pensions. Why the TAKAUDs of the world have been established? Because we are not the only one. And that's the beauty, is we are not the only one. But we are the only one in Bahrain. We are the only one in the UAE, the only one in Qatar, the only one in Egypt, and so on and so forth. But in the world, we are not the only ones. There are many TAKAUDs, and they are flourishing. Flourishing. Why? Because everybody recognizes that stop dreaming about an era where governments could provide everything, from shoes to retirement. Yeah? This costs a lot of money. Why it costs a lot of money? Because, thanks God, because of medicine, we live longer. And thanks God, because of education, we stay longer at school. So if you stay longer at school, you will start working later. So you contribute to the system, to the state pension system, very late now. And you will live very long, meaning that when you will go to retirement, the life expectancy is keeping on growing and growing. And who pays? The guys who are working today. But they go to work later. Where is the money? There is no magic. It's pure math. Whether you want to look at it seriously or not, it's your call. So we believe that we have a very noble job. A very noble job. We are not putting people into debt. We are not selling loans. We are not selling cars. And I like cars, but what do you do with a car? You are supposed to move from your home to work. We say we have a very noble job because what we do is we educate people so they save. It is their money at the end of the day. And it influences the life of people in a society. It influences families. People can send their kids to universities and so on and so forth. Saving is a protection against any need. But debt is not advised, right? It's not advised. Why people go into debt? Because they have no reserve. So consuming, we are in a civilization where we consume. We love to spend. When I buy something, I show it to my neighbors. I show off. You know, the ego is in spending. Nobody will show off saving. The guys who save, they are not showing off. They are quiet. They are smart, right? Yes. The guys who spend the money, they show you they bought this, they bought that, they went to Europe, they bought this, they bought that. I'm big as my spending. Most of the time they use credit cards and all that. Yeah. But you show off. I'm not sure that is the right attitude. TAKAUD is quite unique because it has two ways to approach the savers. The first way, under our own brand name as TAKAUD, we have five accesses to the savers. And this in many countries. The first one, we have our own sales force of well-trained financial consultants, and they meet customers. The second one, for more high-level customers, we call it wealth management. We have a very specific group of financial experts. They can deal with the special needs of these people. They have special needs. Not everybody is the same. So we can address these special needs. The third one is for corporations. Here, it's one corporation, say your corporation, has employees. And employees, very often, they leave you because this competitor offers me 20% more. So I will leave you. So what corporations do is they put in place an employee savings plan. The employee saves 5%, for example, and the employer will match it. But this money does not belong to you before 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. So what you will see, if you think about leaving, which is a very bad idea, what you will see is, you will see that if I leave for 20% more, oh, all this I will lose. This is more than 20%. I stay. So this triggers loyalty. So you think as the owner that this is a cost, and you say, no, I will not take the employee savings plan from TAKAUD because it's a cost. It's a wrong calculation. Actuaries will prove to you mathematically that the cost of replacing this lady, recruiting, absence of work because when she's not here, the work is not done, loss of opportunity, headaches for you, destabilization, and so on and so forth. And most probably, the lady you will recruit to replace her, guess what? You have to pay 10% or 20% more than her salary. So you lost twice. So this is not a cost, it's a savings for the company, it's a savings for the employee, everybody's happy. But employers only think short term, they see the cost. They are not capable to see long term and the benefit. Plus, it gives the employees a message. We care about you, we like you. And as an employee, prepare your future. Because you are an expat. The day you leave, what do you have? You have the end of service benefit. What is the end of service benefit? Half a month per year at service. Will it be enough for your retirement? You will not get GOSI retirement because you're an expat. This is for Bahraini citizens. And that's logic. That's why the government structured the ESB for the non-citizens. But make the calculation, is it enough for you? No way. So if you don't save and you have only the ESB, God help you. So that's also the corporate channel. There is a fourth channel, and I will detail this afterwards. This is what we call partnerships, and that's your question. But there is a fifth channel. TAKAUD is new in the GCC because it implements the new technologies all over the value chain. One example. We don't approach our customers because we send our guys to knock doors. Do you like me? This is my product. No, we don't do that. We communicate with our customers through Facebook, LinkedIn, all the social media, and we present our solutions without bothering them. You don't like to read me now? You are busy? Don't read me. I will not knock your door, put my foot in the door, and bother you. No. If you are interested to discuss with me, discuss with me. That's how discussions start, to the point where the customer is really interested. He got it, and now he wants to move on. Then he books an appointment, and we send him at the time he wants, in the location he wants. We send him a financial consultant. If he wants to come here, marhaba, up to him. And in the future, if he wants to see nobody, but he wants to continue doing it arm's length via the internet, on the internet he will see the face of the financial consultant. He can talk with him. The consultant will guide him through the process till the plan is established and booked. Now I go back to the fourth channel that I said, partnership. What we do for ourselves, a number of banks and insurance companies observed, oh, these guys, wow, they are doing quite well. Instead of fighting them, let's partner with them. So what we do for banks and insurance companies, we establish for them the very savings plans, investment plans that they want to propose to their own customers. But here, it's not under TAKAUD brand name. It's under the bank brand name. I sit behind, but it's my product, my technology, everything. But I'm servicing banks. Here, the customer for me is the bank. It's no more the end customer. You see? So this is the way TAKAUD covers the market in Bahrain and in also a number of countries. Today, TAKAUD has 12 partnerships, as you said, with banks and insurance companies, including 4 Sharia compliant. And going to the end of the year, we will be well above 25 such partnerships with banks. The funny thing is, we have including foreign banks that are not GCC banks. That's the funny side. TAKAUD is an investment firm. Unlike an insurance company, this is very important to understand. An insurance company, you are conventional or Sharia compliant. It's black or white. Insurance company owns the assets. We don't own the assets. You own your assets. If, God forbids, TAKAUD fails, you own the assets. If the insurance company fails, they own the asset. You need to recover your assets. Good luck. It's not the case with TAKAUD. We are administering, we are not holding the assets. You hold the assets in your account under the supervision of the CBB. So when we deal with the Sharia compliant institutions, the assets and the solutions we bring to them are all Sharia compliant. TAKAUD does not need to be Sharia compliant because TAKAUD does not do the asset management. Does not. I'm just allowing the customer to hold the assets. This is it.
That's the solution.
That's the solution. Yes. It's so simple at the same time, so readable, so simple and transparent. At the same time, it's very complex. Why? Because to do that, you need a very, very strong and complex IT platform. And this is where we come with huge investments. We have not invented our platform. We will not try to tell a story, right? We went in the US, we bought one of the, I would say, 2 or 3 top IT platforms. We have customized it in Arabic. We have added a number of services that were not there, in particular regarding the web, the mobile, and so on and so forth. So we are running a very solid platform. For instance, this platform is what JP Morgan uses in the US. So, excuse me to say, it's not because we are TAKAUD in Bahrain that technically, I should not say that, but technically we are similar to JP Morgan, but we don't have yet the assets. But tool-wise, you should not be ashamed. There's no reason to be modest when you should not be modest. It's not our platform, but we made it happen. It exists here in Bahrain, in our hub. Bahrain is the hub of TAKAUD for the whole of the GCC and MENA region. As you know, we are already present in 5 countries. End of the year we'll be in 8 countries. So from the hub in Bahrain, from one platform, and thanks to the web, you can go very fast everywhere. Funny enough, we even have today discussions with Europeans and with Latin Americans to get the platform and the service. So who tells us that we are limited to the GCC? Who tells us we are limited to the MENA? Of course, this is our playground. This is where KIPCO is so strong. Right? But KIPCO has also interests in many other countries.
We are very proud to development to take place.
No, absolutely. First of all, I have to say that I was not there at the establishment of TAKAUD, but from my chairman, I got the story why they have established in Bahrain, though they are Kuwaitis. They could have decided UAE, they could have decided Qatar, many options were on the table. I think they have decided Bahrain because of one thing. The Bahraini authorities, in particular the CBB, after a while of listening, what is the project, what these people want to do, they understood that there is one unique solution that would fit TAKAUD. That would be the what they call investment firm. Yeah, exactly. In what they call investment category 1. And this fits perfectly TAKAUD. What is an investment firm? An investment firm is like an investment bank. The only thing that the firm does not do versus the bank, we don't take deposits, which is fine for us. Absolutely. Why? Because saving is long term, it's not short term. So we don't need deposits. Right? We would never tell our customers take a deposit because it makes no sense when you save. You don't save for 6 months. You save for many years, right? So first, this understanding from the CBB was unique. Second, once they got it, they have facilitated the process. And most probably they have been faster than the others. Now the thing is, when we developed TAKAUD, and I'm very proud to say that because we just got a few days ago from the CBB the approval to establish in Egypt. We are now pursuing our process in the UAE, in Egypt. We have plans in many other countries. And I have to say that what I personally enjoy is the CBB listens to you. Meaning, you go, you sit, you discuss, genuinely, you're going to get a few questions, but you understand that people are genuinely trying to understand, and I would say more, to advise you. And in full humility, I have to say that a gentleman called Mr. Al-Tajar, from time to time, he gave us ideas and solutions that were not in our mind. So you have to say thank you, and we are very happy in Bahrain. And though my colleague Jafar just left, I have to say that without having any constraints regarding Bahrainization, 50% of our staff is Bahraini. Jafar is a very good example of a Bahraini being recently promoted to very high positions, and we are very proud of that. This tells you one lesson. If you are genuinely honest, you don't need tough regulation. You need to do your work in the right spirit. If you work in a country, you work with the people from the country as much as you can. If you work in this country, you use this country and you make sure that you can give back to the country. This is why nowadays we are very much interacting with a number of authorities in the domain of pensions. And now that it became quite official that paying pensions will be a struggle, we can see that discussions about launching new products that would help. Yeah, now people really understand that. People also understand that pension is much needed for the capital market of Bahrain. This market is not liquid. Why it's not liquid? Because there is no cash flow. Why there is no cash flow? Because there is no pension. So now we are discussing with Bahrain Bourse and having a partnership with them so that we study with our sister company just below UGB. We study with UGB, Bahrain Bourse, and the authorities, meaning CBB. Hopefully we can study a mechanism whereby TAKAUD can collect the money from the Bahrainis and keep it in Bahrain. Why do you have to go in other countries if you can reinvest in Bahrain? But today it's very hard for us. How come? How come? You should make it very easy for us. So some regulation can help create a pension market that will boost the capital market, that will give more jobs to the Bahrainis. What makes the jobs? The investments in the companies. Investments in the companies come from the savings of the people. Once you understand the cycle, khalas, focus on it and do it. Started my career almost 30 years ago in France and Canada. And very fast, I was promoted, and then I got promoted in Luxembourg. See, Luxembourg is a very funny country because even the shape resembles Bahrain. Yeah, even the shape. Luxembourg is like this, Bahrain is like that. Same size. Population of Luxembourg is even smaller than Bahrain, is less than 500,000. These guys are between three countries: France, Germany, Belgium. They have nothing, no resource, zero. And today, per capita, they are the richest in the world, even before Qatar. Yes, even before Qatar.
I've been there 2 years ago. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Such a tiny country. And I got a lesson there. I learned the lesson that it's not because you are small. It's not because you have nothing. It's not because you have neighbors that sometimes invade you and break you, as Germany did it twice.
Exactly.
Right? That you are a loser. So now I'm always thinking about Bahrain, and I say, for me, Bahrain can be the Luxembourg of the Arab world. What does it take? Bahrain is already following the same spirit, establish a financial sector. Why Luxembourg became not only financial sector, but the center in Europe for mutual funds? Because they have adjusted the regulations to attract the industry. Can Bahrain do that? Yes. Bahrain can do that, in particular in one area, where Bahrain can again take the lead over Dubai. In pension. In pension. And I would dream of one thing that very often I share with my friends. I would be very happy that the Luxembourgese authorities and the Bahraini authorities talk.
Yes.
And one help the other to become the Luxembourg of the Arab world. Adjusting the regulations so the big players consider Bahrain as the center in the Arab world for managing pensions. It's doable. If I were to modestly contribute to Bahrain, I would be so proud to contribute in the pensions area. You see, the future is bright. When people tell you, oh, the culture of saving, the awareness of saving in Bahrain, in the Arab world is not there, this is completely wrong. I think the ones who are saying that are like me, they are old. But when you go on the social media and you see that the Arab world is ahead of the US and Europe in terms of usage of internet, of mobile, and when I tell you how many customers we get from the social media, you would simply not believe your ears. So it is wrong. This perception, if your magazine can kill one perception, it is completely untrue. But unfortunately, people continue to repeat the same story over and over. A wrong story, an outdated story, a demotivating story. But one thing is sure. Remember what I said at the beginning. You will retire. Broke or wealthy. You will retire. So retire with TAKAUD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Luc. I really appreciate it.